What's up, Sassy Gamers? It's Mike here along with Brian and Kelly, and we recently had a chance to check out some of the Steam Next Fest games that were available, and we wanted to take a few minutes to check out some of those and show them to you. So I'm going to actually pass it over to Brian to show us his first game.
Sure. So what do the two of you feel about Lego?
I mean,
I fucking love them.
I know how you feel about Legos.
Yeah. I mean, you can actually have some that are somewhat visible over here. Actually, there's a couple sets right above that studio light there.
Oh, there's more than just that. There's plenty of sets.
There's plenty of sets over there. So there was a game that was at PAX while we were there, and I completely overlooked it because I thought it was the already released Lego game, which was like, I forgot the exact name, but it was like, it was a tale, and it was this little Lego kid who gets separated from his father. And
Lego Island.
No,
you delivered
Lego
pizza
Island.
on a bicycle. No, different game.
No, it was actually a very touching tale. And he like you moved around and he did some basic building. And some people had a couple of gripes about how the building was done. That's okay. And then I actually now that Steam Next Fest started and all these demos opened up, by then I had realized, oh no, Lego Brick Tales is a completely new game. And while that other game is pretty cool, this one was pretty neat. And the demo is pretty quick. It goes through, you find your grandfather down in his lab. A problem happens. Of course it does, because you have to build things to, fix this. There's a story. I zipped through it pretty quick here on purpose. But you move around. It's, for the most part, pretty good building. It's pretty good building design. Probably the most difficult thing to do in kind of 3D brick building in a game like this is probably where it does fairly well, but I still wish it was a little bit better. And that's like trying to place bricks kind of in air and get them like underneath something. Now, mind you, it's easy to move something underneath because you can just move these bricks right to, here's the basic brick building.
Okay.
Oh, this is like the training.
Yeah, this is the whole thing's the training. Here you are.
Oh wow, it looks like the manuals you have.
It does.
That's interesting.
Very much looks like the manuals. Yes. So this might show you some of the underneath part, because here I put these two parts underneath, but I want to lock it. See, I moved it up to the top, put it in place. This next one I'm going to put underneath. So you put it on top, and then you just hit down on the D-pad. It snaps down to the next level down below, which, as long as you can place it up top, that works great. When it gets more complex later on, actually, this one was interesting too. This is
really cool.
This is interesting because they got these pre-built pieces, so you start building with them.
Oh, not okay. No.
Well, I mean, they do it for reasons.
I know.
But the problem is that the way these were built, you're trying to build stairs here. You can't just build the stairs straight up like you would think.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, this looks great, and it doesn't go up fast enough. So it's neat because not everything is a really straightforward solution where you kind of have to let's get creative. The other thing that I like about this is there's not one solution. In fact, a lot of times you don't even have to use all the bricks. Now, in this one, I actually ended up using all the bricks just because I wanted to be kind of completionist, I guess. But I didn't have to. So once you get everything in place, they'll get you a place like right here. It says simulate. I could simulate it at that point, but I went ahead and placed the last brick. Now, simulate, it checks for strength, checks to make sure that it'll actually get the job done that you want. It's got this little robot. The robot is smart enough to go around corners, which is really cool. Because again,
that's part of the game mode. Like
yes.
When you get to a point, that's how
I'm in adventure level right now, and now see this is a perfect example. This is a bridge. You're like, oh, I'll put these 2x6s side by side and go all the way across and then reinforce them. You don't have enough to do that. See, now I know that because I already had and I actually started building it wrong here. Well, not wrong. This actually would have worked as long as it would stay supported and the little robot can get across. You're done. You don't have to use all the pieces. And this was like, but I wanted to put the railing in because I was like, I want to make it look nice. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I forgot. Oh, yeah, to support the railing. Yeah, I didn't use that piece. That was wrong. I was like, oh, the 2x2s that I locked it with, I used the 2x6 going across. So, and I'll speed through this in a second too, so that we don't stay on this too long. But it's a good example of, see, I put it on top, snap it to the bottom, and then I put in my little holders for, and then here I am going forward more. And again, I did not use all the pieces. I didn't use all of those, round 2B pieces, the 1x1s that have got the buttons on top. I didn't have to put these 1x6s in on the side. I just did it.
But it looks beautiful.
Yeah, in fact,
I feel like I'm just watching your channel with all the Lego building.
I know. I'm loving it. I am in for it.
Watching my Lego channel. The other thing is even those 1x6s, there's not enough to completely fill it in either. So it can get frustrating kind of if you're the type that's like, oh my God, it's got to be perfectly symmetrical and stuff like that. No. The whole idea is you're like, in this case, you're out in the jungle and this thing broke down and you're using the materials at hand to like create this bridge. And you may not have enough materials to make it 100% the way it was before.
Is there let me go to my kids' Lego box, rando Lego box box?
I wish, but
no. Okay.
Yeah, you can't import pieces. They specifically select the pieces that you're going to use in the build.
Is there like a sandbox mode? Can you just
see now there I snapped it down, but it went to it's outlined in red because since it doesn't have studs,
go that way.
Normally stay that way because I didn't get it all the way down. That's what she said.
Okay.
So eventually, I'm like, I don't need any of these smooth pieces. I don't have to put those there. I'm just putting them there to have fun and to show what we could do because, I knew we were going to be talking about this. So then I finally I'm done. I haven't even used all the pieces and let's just simulate.
So is there a sandbox mode where you can just build? Or does it
I don't know. Not in this
not
demo.
in the demo, at least. Okay.
I don't know in the full game. And then I go across the bridge. And I'll go down to that blue arrow. That blue arrow takes me to the next level. I'm exploring some stuff. This is another good one, too, that I want to show really quick. I just talked to her, and the robot popped up and said, no, you can't stand on there. It's not supported enough. It'll fall. So you have to create the supports for this thing. Now, you got all these weird pieces. Now, this is also another good example of why it's difficult to put some of these pieces on the bottom part. Well, even at the snap down part, unless you start at the top, if you start at the top, you're okay. But if you don't start at the top, a lot of times it's kind of difficult. And I could see, especially for kids, that this would be frustrating to get this into the right place.
It's being frustrating for adults.
Yeah.
It's funny. I remember seeing this game at PAX. Like we walked by because we were like, "What is this Lego Land area that's like built over here with all these people playing?" And we're like, "Oh, that's a Lego game."
And I just thought it was the old one and didn't realize this was brand new.
This is super cool. And you don't have to sort the pieces yourself. I love it.
In fact,
although that part is very therapeutic for me.
In fact, if you don't want to use a particular piece, you can just press B on it, whether it's placed or not, and it'll go right back into the little stacks there.
Whoa.
It's very neat. So I'll fast forward a little bit more. You already got the point of how difficult it can be sometimes. So you just create what shapes you want here. There's no right or wrong answer, just whether it would support the weight when it's done. In fact, I played around afterwards and I was like, after I got my supports in, I'm like, I want to put these decorative pieces up here. And they serve no purpose in this particular build. They're just like, I want to because this is my creation.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that once you were created, like when you did the last one, like the build that you made is actually what is in the world. It's not just like, oh, it's just now a bridge and you go across. Like, it's actually the piece that you built. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And that's one very good point. Thank you for making that, because you'll see that here with these decorative pieces. Here it's testing the weight on it instead of a robot. Just testing weight. And there it is. There's the exact thing I built right there in the world.
Very cool.
So it is,
and it looks super cool.
Yeah, it's a fun demo. The demo also has kind of a combat-y thing in it. I didn't want to show that off too much. The combat, it's very much something that kids could do. Like, it's certainly built around that concept, right? And it's also something that is interesting enough for adults. I had fun doing it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
And the demo goes a little bit further in this like jungle area, and it says, "Congratulations, you're done." And it seems about just like, I sat down and it was 30, 45 minutes, which means Bruno would probably take 5.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for showing it.
Yeah, so the next game we played is actually a callback to one of the developers we actually had on the or actually game studios, but also developer we had on the show for our podcast got our attention. But it's Studio Kumio's game called Cricket. Jay's particularly adventure or something like that. I can't. It's peculiar adventure. Yeah. But yeah, it's called Cricket.
It's JRPG. Jay's really, it's JRPG. That's what
that is super funny. I'm
you
glad
guys
that you
didn't.
I never caught on to that. That's hilarious.
Really? Oh my god! Email Jimmy and tell him I'm the only one.
I'm gonna call him out. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Don't call him out. Let him know specifically that Kelly was the only one that figured it out.
That's funny. So interesting game. He actually came on the show. He talked about it before, but this is the first time we actually got to play it. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get any footage recorded between me and Phoenix because we both thought we recorded it. So unfortunately, we don't have
we both thought the other person
recorded it. So we're going to show a little bit of the trailer that he has out.
Absolutely.
But currently, it's a game about a little kid who starts off basically. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but basically wakes up with his buddy, and it's very much a child's point of view of like, you know, a summer day when you just have to, like, you and your buddy want to go out and just play, and as you go out you start uncovering some, you know, stories, mysteries that are going on around the town, which not necessarily are really anything, but they may be, you know. So I mean,
and very much you and your bud are going around in your superhero costumes because you love this like little cartoon Booger Man, and you're like, your best buddy is like always saying lines from it like, "We're going digging for gold."
Yeah. But yeah, his buddy Zach is like the you know, the fighter. He's got his hands wrapped. He does boxing. He does all this stuff, and Jay's really and Jay's more of like kind of a laid not laid back, but more introverted. Like, he doesn't really like, you know, not very confrontational kind of thing. But when fighting does happen, he's there to fight. Which is interesting because the battling is pretty cool. It's very much in the same vein of like the South Park Stick of Truth type of game, where it's not super realistic, but it's also very fun. So there's like, he's got like a rake that he uses. This kid, like Zach, punches things. And then you also pick up some other players.
Specifically the rake, because by not realistic, what it means is it's kind of like how the superhero attacks might be conceived in the real world by small kids.
Yeah.
Because the rake is he hits people with the rake, sure, but then they do a team up where he throws the rake down on the ground, and his buddy Zach, the fighter guy, stands on the handle side of it, and then Jay jumps forward on the front tines of it, catapulting Zach into the fray.
Who does like a Superman punch, which is fantastic.
Just amazing.
So it's really neat. They got like a neat little town that it comes along with, and there's a lot of like one of those games where there's a lot of like, not necessarily Easter eggs, but a lot of things to explore around the town. So there's a lot of things that are kind of hidden. Like, there's things you have to uncover. There's things you have to like literally run really fast and hit a building to like shake the tree or shake the building to let it fall down. So it's really cool. It's different little neat things like that. The story's really good. I don't want to touch on the story just because it it is a very good story, and I don't want to spoil it from just playing the demo, but it's definitely got interest. And like I said, I actually played it through twice because I didn't realize that I couldn't save it. So the first time I got pretty far, and I was pretty much at the end, I realized, but I had to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
But no.
The demo we couldn't save.
The demo,
obviously,
I couldn't save on the demo.
Will have something like that.
Yeah. But there was all kinds of other neat things. Like I said, the story was really cool. Like the different enemies were cool. There was different attacks that you could do, and obviously you'd pick up more as time progresses in the game once the game's released. But it was a really cool experience. Definitely made me feel like a child playing, with my friend outside on a hot summer day. And it reminded me a lot of the games that I played growing up, like on the Sega, or Super Nintendo kind of era, where there was just, there was only so much they could do. And, but this is like obviously way better because it's, better graphics and crazy that this game's running on its own engine, which is insane. Props to Jimmy for that. But really cool.
I love that because we've talked about, recently just like kind of getting bogged down on different mechanics and doing this and doing that. And once I start getting too far into a game and it's like having me like, if I'm using every key on my keyboard, I'm done. Like, I'm out. And that's when I'm like, hey, Mike, which key? Oh, fuck it.
And actually the other cool thing was the music. The music was another part of the game that I did really enjoy because the fighting had its own music. Wandering around had its own thing, and it was just it's not the typical music that you would expect in certain areas like that, but really cool as well. So that was another thing that was enjoyable.
Love that. I'm looking forward to this one. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, I know it doesn't come out till like next year, but whatever.
I know.
Hey, that's okay. There'll be other things to play between now and then.
There's plenty of things.
Yeah. And it's a good story game where we'll be able to sit down and just lose ourselves in it.
In the meantime, anticipation is great.
You'll have Persona 5 in the meantime. They'll keep you plenty busy enough. That's in October.
So what else did you play?
I played something that, boy, you ever have that game that it's like you look at it and like it looks like a blast, and you play it, and it's a combination of, okay, this is really cool. I really dig all this stuff, and then and just seconds later, you're like, oh my god, I hate this so much. It's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
And especially when a lot of that frustration is you can look at it and you're like, nope, game did exactly what I told it to do. I just told it to do the wrong thing.
I hate it when that happens.
And that's what Cursed to Golf is like. Now,
Cursed to Golf.
To be fair, I do not like the game of golf whatsoever.
I'll say, but you've been really into golf lately. I don't know what it is.
I was about to say.
They are video games that are loosely based off of golf. Even with my Scottish heritage and stuff, like I do not like golf at all. And so the whole concept is you're this pro golfer and you were about to like win the championship and you were at the very last shot of the 18th hole and you went to go for it and lightning hit you and killed you.
I hate it when that happens.
And you woke up in golf purgatory. Which...
oh my god, the only thing worse than golf hell.
If golf wasn't boring enough, you're in golf purgatory. But golf. This one actually makes golf exciting.
Golf is exciting. God, you guys are terrible.
I know. I live next to a golf course.
Not at all. So in golf purgatory, you have the chance of ascending back to life if you can complete 18 holes of golf. Now, here's the interesting thing. Again, in golf purgatory, golf is actually interesting, including things like multi-tiered levels. Actually, I'll show some of this off in just a second. Multi-tiered levels, TNT boxes, fans, and I don't mean the people that like you. I mean things that blow air. And
I don't mean politicians.
Definitely don't mean politicians. And you also even have that golf shop where you can buy stuff. It's a little run down, but it's called,
oh my God,
Eternity.
Eternity. Great.
So here I am in Eternity, and I go off to do, I'm going off to do the very first hole of this. Now, here's the interesting thing. These holes, this is a roguelite. The holes are procedurally generated.
Oh my God.
So you may see a similar hole, 5 other
Never.
play things that were in a different, like it's the 6th hole instead of the first hole. And that was a quick thing, showing. So you got a number of shots, which you're probably you might see down at the bottom here in a moment. This is my camera, so I can pan around and see things. I want to hit that gold statue because that gives me more shots. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. It's all the way down at the bottom. I had 5 and now I had 4, and that added 4
you hit the gold
shots.
statue. Oh, now you're in a sand pit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
against the wall right there.
Let me
That's not
adjust that a little bit so that you can see that it actually went up to 8. There we go. So I now have 8 shots, but yeah, I'm right against the wall, which really was a pain. So I was like, well, I can't go forward. I got to go backwards. Now, every now and then you'll see a little blue or little red arrow that is circular around the ball. Now, what that is that spin. So before the ball hits the ground, you can put a backspin or a forward spin on it to get it actually to move a little
Why are
bit.
you using a driver on a fairway? Oh my God.
This is not real golf. That's the important part. You only have an iron driver and a wedge anyway. Here I use an iron.
You need like
I
a
actually use it
putting
to
wedge.
great effect. Look at this. Look at that. I go right where I wanted to go.
Hey.
So listen, you go play this demo and you tell me how good you do.
Yep.
There you go. I used a forward spin there a little bit. I'm on the fairway. And plus also, even though you're on the fairway, I got a long way to go to the hole. So I'm going to use a driver again. I'm going to get full power, baby. Full power. Look at this beautiful shot. Right into the fan. Right into another fan, which goes sideways.
I love the death is there to give you the arrow.
Yeah, tell you which way to go. So again, I'm down to 4 shots. If you go down to if you hit 0 shots, you're done.
We're going that way.
So I'm checking out. Can I go that way? I'm like, oh, what does that do if I go that way? And I'm like, oh, there's the hole. So I have to go all the way up there. And I'm like, I got TNT boxes. Well, I have a card because you have cards that can do things like stop time and make your ball drop directly down, add 2 more shots, or explode TNT, or even do like a U-turn at a button click so that it goes back the other way all of a sudden.
So that's weird. You do power before you aim?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Power
Usually
first.
it's always like you aim and then you do the power.
Yep. And I keep telling you, this is not golf.
This is so weird.
And it is so much fun. Like I actually did pretty good on this hole. While there were a couple other holes I did not nearly as good. I think the furthest I've gotten is to the 3rd hole, and then I choked on that one real badly. Especially since the 3rd hole, like this one looks complex. This is nothing. I got to the 3rd hole, and it was absolutely insane. There were 2 different directions that I could go initially, and then there were even both of those directions had multiple choices depending on TNT boxes and all kinds of stuff, statues all over the place because they were expecting you to take 20 shots just to get through the hole. So there I was trying to put some spin on it again, and I think I make it right in the hole on this one. Yeah, I do.
That's what she said.
So
that's what he said.
While you're finishing up, real quick funny story. I'll do
spin on this one if you watch.
Is the arrow going up and down? Like, is that you controlling that, or is it automatically like teetering, going back and forth for you to pick the angle?
The power meter?
Not the power meter, the one when you're aiming to shoot.
Oh no, that is automatically going up and down.
Okay,
and
so you have to pick.
Okay, you have to select, and I do some terrible ones on that 3rd hole. So I think, is that the middle of hole 3? I think this is. That's what she said. Middle of hole 3.
Well, while you're trying to find the hole,
here we go. Believe me, I don't have any problem by doing that. I've already found the hole. So here we go. You can go either direction, and then it's like it's literally a maze.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's purgatory. You're not supposed to get out.
This is only the. I can't imagine what 18 is, and they have different biomes and have a whole bunch of different stuff.
I mean, if somebody pays enough money, you can get out.
Yes. So what were you saying, Kelly?
Oh, dumb story, but all this like golf reminded me of it. When I was in college, we had a friend who lived in Savannah, and he lived on a golf course, but his family actually had like part of a golf course built on their like marshy land. And one of my friend's fraternity brothers was like, yeah, Richie was so pissed the other day. He said he threw a sandwich out into the marsh and was like, his sandwich. And then we walked out and Richie was like, oh yeah, here's it. And he was like, yeah, so where did you throw your sandwich? And he goes, sandwich?
Sandwich.
Yeah, your sandwich.
Sandwich.
My sandwich. And he's like, it's over there somewhere. I don't fucking care. I was like, oh my God.
Because I'm telling you, I would have to be apocalyptically pissed off to throw my sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, I would throw my sandwich before my sandwich any fucking day of the week.
Oh,
I've definitely seen some of that happen in real life.
I could be perfectly happy and I would throw my sandwich if I ever had one.
I cannot confirm or deny if it was me, but I have been around
I can confirm it was you. Okay, so back to you, Mike. What do you got?
So I played another really neat, really cool looking game, and it's very much in the same wheelhouse of just being actually awesome. It's called Terra Nil.
I heard that you're going to solve climate warming.
I'm going to solve the environment. So Terra Nil is a game
That's a pretty crappy looking environment you're starting with.
So very much in the sense of like
it's probably tomorrow.
Is it Dwarf Romantic? Dwarf Romantic?
Yeah, where you do the little...
where you build a city. There's not really a right or wrong way to kind of build it, but you have certain cards that you run out of if you don't play it right. Similar to that, so you start off the game in a barren wasteland like this, and you start off with the windmill, and then you have to connect the little factory things. And then from that, you attach these other buildings that shoot out water and basically allow the terrain to be flourish like actual green. You'll see that in a second. I'll drop it down, but I'm also looking to see, as you can tell, I'm looking for the right placement. So depending on where you place it,
min-max to get the most amount of coverage and not waste it.
So as you see, it turns.
You already did it wrong.
It turns the grass. It actually turns to grass. So it's kind of a puzzle-ish in a way because there's only certain stones throughout the map, and you can probably skip through some of this, but basically there's only so much that you can find. So when you get that little spot, then you're trying to maximize the coverage you have, because at the bottom left, you'll notice there's a percentage marker that says my first stage, which is, get the ground to 100% of almost covered in green, because it doesn't have to be completely covered, but just pretty much covered. And that's your first stage. And once you get that, then you have to create the next thing, which is the next 3 different biomes. So you have to create a forest biome, like a meadow biome, and a swamp biome. And from that, it's the same thing, but it's also kind of tough because depending on where you place things, it may or may not help you with points. And then the leaves at the bottom are actually like your currency. So when you place it down, it'll give you some for when you do something awesome like the water just now.
I love you put this regular sized little water tower and you just like filled a riverbed.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the other thing is too, if you run out of those leaves, then the game is over. So you have to kind of be careful with what you place. You want to make sure that you are, gaining leaves, not necessarily taking them away if you're kind of getting low. So right there, I've already started building the forest. And what's interesting is once you build the forest, you have to place down basically a controlled burn. And it burns all of the trees down, or burns all of the meadow down, and then you can place these big forest pieces that create the forest you're seeing. But the forest, in order to have meadows, you got to have trees with beehives on them. So you have to make sure that you have grass around the forest that once you attach a beehive to a tree, it has room to grow. So there's a little puzzle things like that within it, which is pretty neat. So this is like step 2, essentially. So the first one was just, get it covered in green. Second is I'm trying to get those biomes. So as you see in the bottom left, like those are the check marks. I'm trying to make like each one to the biome to be perfect. And then after you get to the third section is when the world is now basically back to normal, and it's time to remove our footprint, right? So the third stage is us trying to clear out all the stuff we just did so we can remove it.
All the buildings.
All the buildings that we made so that like the wildlife can take back over. So if you skip forward, so there's my hovercraft. It's the hovercraft that's basically going to take us out of here. So you build these big containers and it basically takes everything that's around that area. And you can kind of stack those where it keeps sucking each other up. So it's like,
whoa.
Yeah.
That's what
they said.
I can't even. Yeah.
So it happens like that, and then you have this little craft that comes over and kind of scoops up all the stuff that the container had, and eventually you have to do all of this until like all of the pieces are removed. And if you notice up there, see how those are starting to get green pieces, because the biome is now back to normal. And so there's like, now if you look on the map, there's like some deer right there. There's birds now flying around in the water right there in the top of the screen. Right now there's a bear. I'll zoom in some of this stuff a little bit later towards the very end of the video. But basically once you're done with this, the hovercraft picks up the little, craft in the water and flies away. And that's basically the game. So it is a
Wasteland Reclaimed.
Yep. It is a procedurally generated game. So
it's a black bear.
Yeah. So it's each map that you play is going to be different. So some are better than others. Like you may have a lot of water and some may not have any water at all. So it just really depends on the way that it was generated. But it's a very chill game. Like I said, there's light strategy to it because you have to make sure you place certain things, certain places. But overall, I mean, it's a very relaxing game that it's pretty neat because you see the world and then it shows you what you've basically reclaimed. And then that's where the demo ends. But yeah, it's a really cool little like relaxing game. Like I said, it's very chill, very easy to play, and it has little neat mechanics like that. And plus, you start seeing the wildlife come back and everything, so that's pretty neat.
Very cool.
Agreed.
And the last game I played,
so I know you guys. I'll just say. We're going to go from Zen to very not Zen.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically me.
But at the same time, there's a kind of Zen to this. Not chill. It's not chill Zen, but.
So the next game it's called Metal HellSinger. And I did write a post on our blog about the game, basically the playthrough that I did. But I'll just speak about it now because I've actually got some footage to show as well.
And you talked a little bit about this on our last podcast too.
Yeah.
Well, we will be doing sound on this one, so why don't you set up the stage first, and then you might be able to talk over the rest.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it's so Metal HellSinger is a game based on you're like a demon hunter or a demon, and you're basically in the depths of hell to reclaim the evil souls that are there. And that's basically it. It's a very like a Doom shooter style where you're running around just very glitch, almost like Doom or Heretic or like Unreal Tournament. But the difference with this game is it's a rhythm game. So it has beats per minute, and there's little icons on your screen that indicate the beat, and you want to be able to interact with that. So shooting, jumping, everything you want to do is to the beat.
Reloading.
And then if you do that, what happens is the song starts off with just like kind of like light guitar drums, and as you progress, the song starts building and adds more instruments until the point where like the singer is actually singing or screaming. And this is all metal, so it's like up my alley. The only problem is I suck at this game. I am terrible at this rhythm shooter thing. So
yeah, and
it was unfortunate for me.
Different weapons need to be used differently. Like a shotgun might be used on 2 and 4, whereas a pistol is and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
See, you already know more than I do. Like that's more than I do.
And if you build things upright, you can do like this insta kill where you target an enemy and they can be halfway across the map.
Yeah.
And you will get wings and you'll just go right across the map and like rip them apart.
Yeah. So I will say it's very fun. And you'll see that here in just a second. I do a lot of jumping, a lot of side jumping, and a bunch of stuff like that. But it's
hey, Brian,
really
I
interesting.
You can see it.
Yeah, we're on a wrong screen here.
Yeah. There.
But I guess it's the one thing that I did mention that was odd was the voice. Like it's like this like Marble Man. I don't know why that's there, but that's the only complaint I had of the game.
Okay.
It's still a demo.
No, that's fine. I don't know. It just seemed very out of place to me. But other than that, like the game is really fun.
Cool.
It's fast paced. It gives you the feeling of being a badass. I mean, really.
I like that reload. So you could really hit a beat with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's also things you can pick up on the ground that will also give you that meter at the top to go to the next tier. But I have like a skull that I can use, and that's the insta kill he was just talking about. I have a shotgun, I have a sword, and then I have pistols that I don't have at the moment yet. I'll pick those up in a little bit. But there's so much to do in this game. So as you notice, the song's starting to build.
I think that tutorial announcer dude actually having it out of place is probably better because it is definably different than anything else that's going on, so you can pick it out from the music and the beats and everything else.
That's true.
So really fun. I would say go ahead and skip forward a little bit because this is basically the full playthrough of the demo, but there's a lot more later. But like, so that's the double guns. I've got this massive dude with like this huge like sword rapier thing, and you can see like I have wings. So as I double jump, like you'll see the wings come out, and I can also do like a strafe jump, which is pretty quick to get aside. I just activated a special there, so that's my special ability with my guns.
I like how
each weapon
muted because you're so damaged.
Yeah. Each weapon has its own special ability, so as you charge that weapon up, it'll have an ability, and then you can stack all of those too to like unleash all at the same time. So the shotgun has like a bigger blast. The double guns, pistols have like that extra person that shows up like a decoy. So listen to the music now.
Oh, you can hear it.
So now I'm at 16, which is the top level. So now you'll hear the singer.
And to point out, even his movement, like that,
I saw your wings.
Like that, can count towards this beat meter that he's bringing up. So even if you don't got enemies, you can build that up. Okay, it's badass looking.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It gives you the feeling of really like just being a badass, and you're just in the depths of hell to just fuck shit up. I mean, really. So, but that's the part that I say it sucks for me, is that I suck at this game, so I don't get to hear the music as much as I wanted to. Like I want to jam out, but like I don't ever get there. At least very much.
You know, if you're jamming out the proper way, you'll easily get there because you'll be like.
Yeah, I started kind of stopped with the beats and really focusing on that, and just started playing the game, and I felt like I did a little better. But even at that, like it's still not. I'm just not good at this game, but it's really fun.
Maybe the beat just comes to you, you know?
Yeah.
So to be clear, Mike found a rhythm boomer shooter.
A rhythm boomer shooter. Yeah, literally, this is it. So, yeah, it's really fun. I definitely would say check it out. There is a leaderboard mechanic to this as well. So, there is, like, competing against other people online. So, how good they do, based on how much they got the high score, how long they were at level 8 or 16 or whatever, and how much damage they've done. And basically, that was going into the boss fight of the demo. So, it's about like a 30-minute long demo. It's not too long, but I wouldn't even show this because I don't want to spoil it too much. But yeah, but
it's
still
like the first level.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like the easiest boss they're gonna throw at you.
Yeah, but it was a really fun game. It was cool. I definitely enjoyed it. So that was Metal HellSinger.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So that concluded the games that we actually played for Steam Next Fest.
And I would like to say some of these demos are still available. So go out there, check it out.
I was on vacation during all of this, so I didn't get to play anything because of shitty Wi-Fi. But so it's good to know that some of them.
Yeah,
are
I'll
still
say
available.
I wouldn't say a lot of them are, because a lot of them they've pulled them off the store. But if you have them already installed, they're most likely still going to play. So there's that. But a lot of these games too are going to be releasing soon. So they may also do another, demo here soon, or early access or something like that to be able to check out. So, but yeah, definitely really cool. Until next, Steam Next Fest or the next event that'll give us some demos to check out. We'll see what happens. But that is what we played. So thanks for hanging out with us and checking it out. And make sure to always like and subscribe to the video. And maybe let us know if you want to see more content like this. Send us an email at goa@sassgaming.com. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
See ya.